In the Samudra Pasai period, the earliest form of Malay-born Islamic literature are oral stories about the story of the Prophet Muhammad, the story of the Prophet, and the story of the companions. For example, Qisas al-Anbiya, translated from Arabic to Malay, narrated the birth of the Prophet's dying story, Hikayat Nur Muhammad, Hikayat Bulan Sepalah, Kalimah Syahdah, and so on.
After the fall of Pasai, Malacca took over the center of Islamic development in the archipelago. According to the Malay story, which refers to the Sultan's tendencies towards Islamic religious work. At this time, the development of the Malay language reached its peak because it was adopted into the lingua franca language, and the development of the literature field was equally as exponential. This is because the spread of Islam as the field of literature as a medium of preaching of the dakwah to the Malay community at the time. At this time, the work of the Hikayat are popular and are told in the palace as well as to ordinary people, such as Hikayat Muhammad Hanafiah, Hikayat Iskandar Zulkarnain, and Hikayat Amir Hamzah translated from Arabic work. In this Malacca era, beside the Malay epic of Hikayat Hang Tuah, Hindu epic work like Hikayat Ramayana were given a new phase of Hikayat Sri Rama by inserting the elements of Islam, such as the name of God changed to the name Allah, and Hindu culture that did not conflict with the Islamic faith being retained.
The emergence of the Aceh government after the fall of Malacca was a highlight of the glorious development of the Malay literature of Islamic influence. Famous authors of the day were Hamzah Fansuri, Nuruddin Al-Narini, Abdul Rauf Sinkel, and Bukhari Al-Jawari. Among the work produced Bustanus Salatin, Tajus Salatin, Syair Bot, dan Syair Pungguk, and the others. There is only a name whose work is solely due to the emergence of Islamic polemic in Aceh between Hamzah Fansuri and Wahdat Al-Wujud with Nuruddin Al-Raniri from the Sunnah wal Jamaah. During the Sultan Iskandar Thani era, almost all Hamzah Fansuri work were burned by the government for allegedly deviating from the true teaching of Islam.
The development of the Malay literature of Islamic influence was continued by the famous Johor Riau writer Raja Ali Haji, who has produced literary works such as Tufat al-Hafiz and Malay languages. In this age, the Malay language reaches the golden age because it is born largely based on the field of discourse as a literary, legal, historical, and other discourse. By 1824, literary developments in Johor Riau began to decline with Dutch control over the Johor Riau government. However, literary developments continued to run in other areas such as Patani, Kelantan, and others. It can be included that the creation of literary works of Islamic influence during the range of Samudra, Pasai, and Malacca was widely reproduced or retranslated from Arabic and Persian into the Malay language of the Arabic language. Then in the days of Aceh, on the original work written by renowned scholars such as Hamzah Fansuri. So far, most of the literary works of Islam influence have been translated or rewritten in Malay using the classical Malay dance and still retain the form of Arabic phrases and contain the word Allah. The series of hikayat aim to tell the glory of Rasulullah SAW as a human being in the sight of Allah SWT. Hikayat Nur Muhammad reflects the glorious nature of Rasulullah, and this supported by the portrayal of miracle in this is a fairy story of prophetic miracle. In the Hikayat Raja Kandak, it's about the victory of Rasulullah in war. In addition, the story-based storyline is also incorporates features and imaginative elements to attract Islamic belief to appreciate the work of this literary work. The description of the nature of some constitution throughout the mujahadah and obedience of Rasulullah, devotion to the command of Allah SWT, and his wisdom in carrying the prophecy of Islamia made in the best example for all Muslims.